Hi there. It's me. Today I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about boundaries. I want to talk about letting go of desire. I want to talk about, touch on addiction, because that can kind of go with desire, I feel like. And stillness and surrendering to fate. So, when it comes to boundaries, I feel like a lot of people, including myself, struggle with this. Probably mainly, I'm not even gonna get into that, but I know that growing up and still now, I'm trying to work on it right now, is being able to say no to people, because growing up I always wanted to please everybody else, and almost to the point where in high school I, shout out to Pops, but I wanted to make my parents so proud that I actually believed that I wanted to be a doctor, which at the time I was very interested in that. And yeah, when I got to college, I was like, wait, I don't like to do math, so no more of that. But yeah, so I've always been like that, always wanting to make everybody else happy, make everybody else comfortable, to the point where I would make myself uncomfortable. And even in a lot through college, I put myself in very bad situations just because I was afraid to say no, and I was afraid to almost stick up for myself, and learning from those situations, I wanted to do better and be there for myself and choose myself. And yeah, so before moving here, that's what I really wanted, because I knew I was going to be here alone, and I knew that it was going to take me a little while to make some friends, which I saw as a good thing, because that's what I wanted. I wanted solitude. I wanted to be able to absolutely get to know myself, and that's what I'm doing now, and it's amazing. By the way, being alone is not scary for me at all anymore, and it feels very good to say that. So if you are afraid of being alone, please work on it, because it feels great. It feels great. It's not scary. It's a good thing to be okay with being alone. Yeah. Side note. But yeah, I just decided that I wanted to honor myself, and I still struggle with it now, because some of the things that I told myself that I was no longer going to accept, I still accepted, and I'm still in those cycles right now, but working on it, But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for a minute, and how having boundaries for yourself is not easy, because it's you have to make a choice, and you have to sometimes do what hurts you and what hurts other people, and you have to rip away certain people and certain situations out of your life that aren't serving you anymore. And it's hard. It's very hard. But something that I learned from Lexley Overton is that if someone or something is not bringing you joy, then it needs to go. Period. That doesn't need to be explained any further. It's if you are in a situation where it's just another thing Lexley has taught me is the triangle of disempowerment, I think is what it's called. But it's when you're always in this triangle. It's you're either the victim, the perpetrator, or the rescuer. And that comes with not having boundaries, and in my opinion. And whenever you choose to step out of a situation and no longer accept to be treated a certain way, then that's you're honoring yourself in that way. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but I know somebody does, because I know a lot of us struggle with it. But you're allowed to say no. You're allowed to choose yourself, and you don't have to please everybody, because you can't. So, but you can please yourself. Not trying to be weird, but it came out weird. Anyway, you can choose yourself. You can make yourself joyful by being in situations and being with people that bring you joy, instead of staying in situations with people that are not bringing you joy, and staying in jobs and etc. that are not bringing you joy because you're afraid to either ask or to say no or to say yes. Just think about that. Speaking of letting go, what's not serving you, things you're attached to. Mine right now is social media, and I really would like to delete it off my phone. But, and you know what? I think I will. Just for a short amount of time. I don't know. I really just want it out. Because every time I get on there, it's like, this is my thing right now. Like, I get on there and I'm like, I wish I had cool clothes. And I'm like, wait, I do have cool clothes, but I want more cool clothes. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Excuse my language. Doesn't matter. It's just clothes. And guess what? I don't have money to get them. So it doesn't serve me to go on there and want for something that I cannot have. Because then I suffer. And that is going to segue me into my next topic. How desiring things causes you to suffer. But that's kind of, I'm not going to go into all of that because that is just like a rabbit hole of information. But I will skim the surface of that and say that if there are things that you want so bad to the point that it's disturbing to you, it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. Like, and then another thing that, like, I was just thinking about what I was going to talk about today in this video yesterday, and I was thinking about how when we say, like, oh my God, I want that so bad, it's like basically saying, I don't have it. You know? So you're telling yourself, it's not mine, by saying, I want that so bad. You know? So that's my new thing right now. I'm trying not to want, trying not to desire anything. I'm trying to just let what's meant for me come to me. And yeah, because that's another thing. There are many, many, many people out there that want what other people have. And they think that just because this person's doing that and they see the reaction of other people and they're like, I want that kind of reaction. And so they try and do things and be things that aren't necessarily what they are meant to be or do. And that's whenever it gets tricky, because those people have to manipulate people around them, manipulate the world around them to get in those positions, because it's not actually for them. They want it because someone else has it. In other words, well, okay, this sounds really mean, but I'm talking about posers. I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is, don't force anything in your life. If you have to force it, it's not for you, and that's like the simplest way I can put it. But another thing that, by the way, this is the book that I'm always talking about. It's called Be Here Now by Ram Dass. Amazing book. But yeah, it says stuff about desire in here, and that's why I said I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, because there's a lot of stuff in here about that. But there is a few quotes worth mentioning about the things that I was talking about. And while I'm still talking about desire and wanting, they have some good things about that, and about how it's like, it's a paradox, and Like, as long as you want the power, you can never have it. And the minute that you don't want the power, you'll have more than you ever just dreamed possible. And the paradox is, when something is yours, you don't... What? This is what I wrote, and that's why I can't read it. The paradox is, when something is yours, you don't have to want for it. It's there. You don't have to force it, as I was saying. Yeah. And as soon as you give it all up, you can have it all. That's the paradox. It's like, if you want for something, you're telling yourself it's not yours. So stop it. Yeah, I'm like, bitch, take her own advice. I really. Yeah, it's just, like, I guess desire and obsession, there's like a very fine line. It's like anything that you think about to the point where it's taking you away from like this moment now, and you're like, you're living anywhere but here, it's time to let it go, girl. You know, because nothing exists, I'm about to sound crazy, nothing exists outside of this moment that is happening right now. Like, the future doesn't exist, and the past doesn't exist. We're literally 2 seconds ago doesn't exist anymore because it's gone now. We're here. So just hopping back to talking about desire and how it causes suffering, just want to touch on this one more time and just read you this beautiful passage from my book. And it says that the cause of suffering is desire or craving. If you don't try and hold on, you don't suffer. If you don't worship life, you don't fear death. But if you try to hold on to life, it's very sad. You can honor life, but if you try to hold on to life, it's very sad. Did you ever see a really beautiful woman, like a top model, who is just getting to that point where her looks are changing into what could be an internal beauty if she hadn't been so busy with her external beauty? She is caught in the beauty of time, which withers. And yet we all touch people who are so beautiful as beings that we never notice whether they are physically beautiful. It's like an internal beauty lives within them. Well, if you attach yourself, if you crave temporal things, beauty, possessions, achievement, anything, it withers. Example, somebody looks at you seductively. An ice cream cone goes by. Will it ever be the big ice cream cone in the sky? Will it ever be an eternal ice cream cone? Or is it always going to melt? You gotta keep eating it, yet it melts and melts. That's the problem. You gotta keep eating it because it will melt, and then it's gone. And you know that taste in your mouth when you finish and you want a glass of water, right? Then you have a glass of water, and there's that bloaty feeling. Then you're ready for the next one to get rid of that one. Let's take a walk. And you take a walk. It's cold out. Let's have some hot chocolate. Yes, let's have some. And on and on and on. It's called life. You see, the opposite of craving is saying, baby, this is the way it is. Yeah, okay, here and now. This is it. I accept the here and now fully as it is right this moment. And that's what I was saying, you know, like when it gets to a point where you aren't here because you're wanting something so bad that that's all you think about, it's time to let it go. So, just to review what I was saying, honor yourself, let go of what's not serving you, surrender to your fate, and accept what it is that's meant for you, because it's coming, and you don't have to force it. Yeah, I love you all very much, and I hope that you're having a great day, and I hope that you have a great rest of the week and weekend, and you are taking care of yourselves, and I'll see you here next week for another talk. Goodbye.